you've asked for stuff on the reserve team, so we're going to give it to you, aren't we, Ian?
Oh, yeah.
Give it to you, good. We're talking to Tony Park, author of Sons of United. Go out and buy that, that's a book. He's also an expert on Manchester United reserves, which we're going to talk about. We're also going to discuss the likes of Januzaj and Zaha, because we want to know what's going on with them. So, Tony, first up, how are the reserves getting on this season?
They're doing okay. I think the thing that's surprising a lot of people is just the lack of real football that's going on. There seems to be postponements all over the place. There's international weeks, and so a lot of the players, the likes of Tom Lawrence is a good example. He seems to be playing more international football under 21s than he is for Manchester United at the moment, but the team's doing well.
Are there any standout performers this season?
Varela, the new import from South America, he seems to have settled quite well. I saw him in pre-season in one of the games, and I thought defensively he looked quite weak. He seems great going forward, very very Butner-like, if you like, in terms of bombing forward. But defensively, he was caught out quite a few times. The last couple of games I've watched, he seems to have managed that to the point where I think he's getting used to the style of football. He's getting used to his new surroundings. So he seems to have pushed on a bit, and so I've been impressed with his last couple of games. Larnell Cole, obviously, he's been around for quite some time now at that level. He has influenced a lot of the games he's played in, particularly the last couple where Jesse Lingard haven't been around because Jess is obviously on loan. And I think it's just great to see Will Keane back. I don't know if you saw his goal against Bolton. It was just classic Will Keane, one touch, a turn, and a shot into the corner of the net. It was just excellently, executed, but got overshadowed by Zaha's goal and also Januzaj's goal in the night.
So would you say some of the players like Lingard going out on loan is giving some new players a chance to shine in the youth setup?
That's a good question, Ian.
Thank you very much, man.
It is. As I said, I think it's been an incredibly stop-start to the season, the entry into the season. We've got the Under-19 European League. So the likes of the lads who've come through the youth team last season, the Ben Pearsons, the Joe Rothwells, the Liam Grimshaws, they have got a few run-outs from the bench on the Under-21s, but they've mainly been involved in the European Youth League, as I said, against Shakhtar and Real Sociedad.
Ben Pearson is a player we wanted to ask you about. How's he done since stepping up from the Under-19s?
He's done okay. I think at Under-18 level he looked absolute quality. He's got a good passing game. He gets stuck in very well. He reads the game fine. He's got lots of energy. Gets up and down the pitch. I like Pearson a lot. I think he's got good potential. As I said, because he hasn't played a lot of football, we've seen him a few times in the Under-19s, and he's made a few cameos for the Under-21s. It's really, really hard. I feel sorry for a lot of these kids. I think we've got way too many at the youth levels we have. We seem to have a whole bunch of Under-21s. We've got a whole bunch out on loan. We've got a whole bunch of 19s. And, of course, we've got a whole bunch of 18. So we're really overladen with players, and I just don't think they're getting enough games, which obviously causes problems in terms of consistency, confidence, and so forth.
Do you think, with the players we have, that our approach in regards to the reserve team and players in the first team squad is okay, in that we go out and we try and buy players, or do you think we should be looking to push those, the reserve players into the first team squad more, and like looking at people like Ander Herrera, who we bid for in the summer? I know we bought him for Laney, but do you think we should be looking into the reserves and saying, well, tell you what, maybe it's time these guys stepped into the fold?
I think so. I think what's really obvious to me, at least since I've been watching it in my time, there seems to be a lack of strategy. I think it seems to me, anyway, very hodgepodge in what they're doing. When I look at players, anyway, I'm thinking to myself, what can a Butner do, or what can a Marnik Vermeil do, or whoever we happen to be purchasing at that level? What can they do that Tom Thorpe can't do? And I look at Tom Thorpe and I think he's a great little player. He can play at fullback, he can play in midfield, he can play at centre half. He might be just a tad short of height at centre half, and he might be a tad short of quality for midfield. But certainly at right back, like Gary Neville before him, I think he would make a cracking right back. And we've never given him a chance, and I just don't know why. Lingard's the same. I think he's proven it, but we've never given him a shot. And I think if you're going to buy real quality, like a Cristiano Ronaldo as an example, then I think, okay, you've gone out and you spent a lot of money on a quality player, and there's a huge difference between a Cristiano Ronaldo and a Jesse Lingard or a Nick Powell, for example, particularly at that age. But we're not buying Cristiano Ronaldos. We're buying, in my mind, good quality players, but I'm not sure that they're any better than what we've got. Certainly untried players in our youth setup. So I think I'd like to see them get a chance, even if we give them a chance and they say, do you know what, they've had their chance and they didn't do it. At least they've had their chance, like Wooten did, for example. And if they don't think they're good enough, then let's get rid of the kids and give the ones behind them a chance. And I think at the moment we seem to be hanging on to lots of these kids. We're not giving them a chance. We're not sending them on loan. And I just think they're getting to a certain point where they're stagnating at their current level. I really do.
Whilst we're on the United system, don't mind interrupting you, David Moyes came in the summer.
Yeah.
How has that affected the reserves, the under-21s? Has that made a difference? Have you seen any change?
No, none at all. Funny enough, I spoke to one of the coaching staff at Carrington last week, and obviously they're not allowed to say anything, they're not allowed to give anything away, but from what I could gather, there's been very minimal change across the academy at all. I think Moyes is very keen to look at what's going on in the first team setup. He's very keen to get people around him that he knows, and with a pretty successful historical youth setup that we've had over the years, he probably hasn't had to change a lot. Having said that, there's been a lot of success he had at Everton, either with people he brought in and had in his tenure there. So it would be very interesting to see what happens in the next, say, 2 or 3, 4 years as things start to settle down, if he does make any changes at that level. And my understanding was that Ferguson went into the changing room afterwards and absolutely rollopped the whole team. He was really upset with the way we lost that game. And he singled out Januzaj as someone who he thought had the ability and the temperament to affect that game, but didn't feel he tried hard enough. And he gave him a personal rollicking. And what he said to Januzaj was, here's what we're going to do. We're going to now elevate you into the under-21s. Your first season, you're in and out of the team with a bit of injury. You've had a good run, but you're not producing. We want you to show us exactly what you can